Hello, my name is Olo and this is a Rage Gaming video, and what the hell did I just show you? Well, that would be the new Palamute gameplay that was recently and rather randomly revealed. Basically, that animation showcases a way for the hunter to ride the Palamute and then have the Palamute perform a 3-hit combo with a weapon in its mouth. That's pretty cool and pretty unexpected, but it'd be better if we could see that in game. But wait, we can. That exact attack pattern is used here in this gameplay shown on December 26th via the TV show Asahi. They had the chance to have an early play of Rise and make a short segment out of it for the show, which aired only a few days ago. In it, the player hunts an Aknosom, and in that gameplay we see some new details that we haven't seen anywhere else, like how Aknosom is in proper action, seeing various movesets and different parts of the hunt. We also see a longsword with the new UI, other important details, and of course the new Palamute mounted combat. So let's talk about all of that right now. For this footage I'm going to zoom in on the gameplay, so please ignore the heads in the bottom corner. But let's start with the thing that's most important, right? That Palamute mounted combat. Now, people on Reddit are claiming that this is the 15th weapon in Rise, which I imagine is probably referenced in the title or thumbnail of this video somehow. But it might be a little over the top to claim that this is, you know, a whole new weapon or combat style with unique movesets and effects. What we do know right now is that you can perform this short 3-hit combo while mounted on your Palamute for some nice quick attacks on, say, an escaping monster while you're chasing and moving. And therefore, you actually could kill a monster from 100 to 0 with these attacks. And I guess if you're crazy like Team Darkside or Kanta, you could maybe kill a monster like this with that 3-hit combo. So yeah, I'm looking forward to those videos, guys. Personally, I'm really happy with the mini version of our best boy Sif from Dark Souls 1. The whole weapon in the mouth concept where the dog swings its head side to side to slash with the blade. I think it's awesome. But is this really enough to say, ooh, 15th weapon, the new weapon in Rise? I think that's a bit much. But what if there's more to this than we currently know? Many of you will know about the old Prowler combat, in which you would play as a Palico who has a unique moveset and gameplay benefits. It was referred to as Prowler mode, and I believe it was first added in Monster Hunter Generations. In this mode, you had no stamina to worry about, you could gather faster, which was definitely an important feature in the older games, and they could even faint twice before officially carting. The drawback of this mode, though, was the overall weaker damage output compared to, say, playing a hunter and using a proper weapon. A couple of extra interesting details about the Prowler mode was the weapon, which was a boomerang, so you could use that at mid-range. And they even came with their own enrage effect too. And when enraged, you'd gain affinity perks, earplug effects, faster evades, and a new combo to use. So yeah, this isn't the first time they've created a new form of combat in which you use your companion, and we clearly see it in use here with this tiny 3-hit combo. So is there more to this though? In the past, the devs were considering something called the hunting hound, which we had this old concept art for. This shows the hunter and his hound working together, commanding that hound to circle the hunter or move in specific ways based on your commands, attacking specific parts of a monster, or maybe finding items for you. Clearly, the Palamute is the more realized version of that hunting hound concept as a new companion that will fight with you just like a Palico would, but with new additions like the mount benefits. Giving it this new attack chain while you're mounted makes sense, but is it as detailed as the hunting hound? Maybe not. That was clearly meant as a new weapon or combat mode, and this seems a bit more minimal than that. We are meant to learn more about Rise early this year, most likely before that demo, so maybe details will come with that, but I bet you they're going to be telling us when the demo will come in whenever they release that information. Now in this gameplay we saw 3 players having a turn with a longsword and hunting the Aknosom, which did give us a real look at that hunt. These players aren't exactly pros, but the enthusiasm they were showing while playing and the various levels of focus were great to see. Just watching them play makes me excited to play Rise. It looks like such a step forward for a portable Monster Hunter compared to even GU, the last one. As far as the longsword goes, I saw them make use of the new Silkbind counterattack and also the new leaping thrust and the helm splitter. We still have that question of, can we use a helm splitter whenever we want, or is it locked behind the new Silkbind jump? In this gameplay, they were only using helm splitter after that jump. In the gameplay, I also did not see a single use of the ice stance, so I'm obviously disgusted. I'm only kidding kinda, but we do see Aknosom at work here. In total, there were 4 encounters shown, each player having their own turn, and then that first player actually defeating the monster in the end. To start off, we have a head slam from Akno, and those fantastic 1-foot side steps, and spin attacks. In the second encounter, there's use of the Palamute to actually dismount straight into an aerial attack from full sprint, which seems incredibly useful to do at will like that. We also see our first part break as the player hits the head, causing a stagger, and then Akno backs up before coming charging back at the hunter. Our first look at the Silkbind counter comes in for a successful attempt. Damn, that counter lasts a long time, very forgiving. We also get a quick look at that other Silkbind attack. We see both the leaping thrust, which then generates spirit gauge when you do it, and then later the helm splitter, but before the player can complete the hunt, the Aknosom actually runs away, flying up high in the air and then popping out of existence. After that clip, we're on straight to the third player, so I'm thinking that Aknosom may have escaped. Now, it could have just flown to another area in the region and that's the animation for that, or perhaps they were just doing this in an expedition style setup and the Akno just left the locale. Moving on to that third encounter though, we see a bit of a turf war with Aknosom and the Azuros. It seems to be the end of that battle though. We don't get to see the full thing. We only catch the end of a few trading blows. Either way, that poor bear is running away, having lost, but he's still a winner in my heart. I think the player does pretty well here, hitting a successful parry, multiple helm splitters are used. Honestly, he's doing pretty good. But then suddenly we skip forward to the first player again, who has just fainted after dying to what appears to be the fire attacks of Aknosom. You gotta roll, buddy. In our final encounter, late into a hunt, we do see that Aknosom limping away, but the hunter is using the Palamute and can easily chase it down with that new movement speed. The spirit combo actually breaks the tail here, but Aknosom actually starts using fire effects on screen here. Barely, but we do see it a bit. At this point, I do think Aknosom is enraged now. There's fire effects around the mouth, and the poor thing is clearly scuffed and beat up. And this is where we start to see those head slams come in combos, which does hit the player pretty hard. Eventually, though, this hunter successfully kills the Aknosom, which is sadly awkwardly hidden from us. I suppose they're not allowed to show us the successful kill, but obviously they're celebrating, they're happy about this. But there you have it. A better look at that moveset, the graceful movement of the Aknosom, the fire attacks, and seemingly an enrage and the limp. I think it's going to be so good to be able to chase down monsters whenever they run away, thanks to the new mounted movement speed. So if we don't want to stop the fighting just yet, we can just hunt that monster down and catch it before it tries to escape. While we were watching that though, there was a detail that I'd not seen in any gameplay before. So as the player was heading up to the Aknosom and we saw the Azuros fighting, we saw a new color to the damage numbers. It was blue. In all gameplay we've seen white for normal damage and then orange for bonus damage like crit. Now suddenly we see this blue number. What does that represent, do you think? It is shown when a monster is hitting another monster in this case. So I'm thinking that it shows damage from environment. That could be, say, another monster dealing damage to the monster you're hunting, or perhaps endemic life, like something exploding on your target. Basically anything non-player damage related. What do you think? But that is everything I could see in this new gameplay. If there was anything you saw, let me know. I reckon they were playing the demo before it's actually released to us. So I would figure that means we can hunt both the Aknosom and the Azuros whenever we do get our hands on that demo at the very least. And again, it was so nice to see the enthusiasm of the players and the watchers in this footage. It's just good to see people excited about Monster Hunter and then being impressed as well by the new mechanics. I cannot wait to play. Until next time though, I've been Hollow, you've been you, and I'll see you in the next one.